Quranic Symmetric Framework Theory wa alaikum. Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you with the mercy and blessings of Allah. According to the source, symmetric framework refers to the Quranic Symmetric Framework Theory, which is an academic and personal effort to explore the symmetrical structure in the Quran 1. This theory views the Quran as a layered system of symmetry. It is rooted in the principle that Allah has created everything with measure, as stated in Surah Al-Qamar 54:49. The purpose of this theory is to reveal the miracle, ijaz, of the Quran and invite the reader to contemplate the divine order 13, 135, 146, 148, 150, 158, 169, 171, 172. This symmetrical framework is explored through a layered approach involving four interrelated dimensions: 147, 148, 150, 170, 171, numerical dimensions, Chapter 1, 136, 159. Numbers are considered the backbone of a symmetrical framework. This dimension focuses on the quantitative aspects that demonstrate ijaz through uniqueness, beauty, and precision. 130, 135, 153, 158. The major prime numbers such as 7, 19, and 37 are central to this symmetry. 137, 160. Examples of important numbers: 7, mentioned in the Sab'an min al-Mathani, 7 repeated verses, 15, 87, 137, 145, 153, 160, 168, the seven heavens, 229, 137, 157, 160, 162, and the 7 days of creation, 754, 137, 160. Fractals of 7, such as 15,873x, 7 times 7 equals 777,777, show complex repeating patterns, paralleling the concept of the 7-tiered heavens, 67, 3, 138, 139, 154, 158, 161, 162, 171, 19, associated with on it are 19, 74, 30, 137, 141, 142, 144, First revelation, 19 letters in the first verse of Surah Al-Fatihah. Also, 37, seen implicitly present in 74, 2 times 37, and also in relationships, such as 36 plus 38i, 137, 142, 150, 153, 155, 157, 160, 161, 162, 165, 166, 170, 170. Mathematical precision, highlighted through the relationship of the 114 surahs midpoints, namely 57, 114 divided 2 equals 57, 131, 154, 62, 71, the pattern of 7, 7. Total bukan, 128, is also seen. 131, 132, 133, The resonance of the initial revelation, 96 equals ties together creation, science, and wisdom. This all shows the impossible in numerical ijaz without comprehensive knowledge and divine design. Thematic dimension, chapter 2, I 140-163. The theme is considered to be the soul of the symmetrical framework I 147, giving spiritual and narrative meaning to quantitative structures. I 147, 170. Examining how the major themes are harmoniously identify narrative marks such as the flow from creation, 96.1, guidance, 6, cosmic order, 57.1, warning, 74.1, resurrection, 75.1, I, 150, 154, 100, grace, 1, third as a connecting thread, I, 141, 164. Thematic symmetry is observed in pairs of surahs, such as Surah Yasin, 36, with 83 verses explaining the signs of creation, and Surah Al-Mudathir, 83, with 36 verses explaining Judgment 1, 142, 144, 150, 165, 167, 170. This creates a reverse symmetry across 47 surahs, I, 144, 150, 167, 170. The resonance of themes with numbers, such as the thematic connection between the cosmic order, Surah 57, and the position of the number as the midpoint, 57, contributes to the beauty of the narrative, I, 142, 150, 165, 170. This shows ijaz because a coherent narrative order is difficult to create without divine design, especially when it is aligned with numbers and revealed in stages over 23 years. Geometric dimensions, chapter 3. I, form is described as the aesthetic face of a symmetrical framework, transforming numbers and themes into beautiful geometric patterns, I. The unique geometric patterns include a circle formed by the 114 surahs with Surah Al-Hadid, 57, as the center, symbolizing the cosmic order, 57.1 I, 150. The thematic and geometric relationship between Surah 36, cosmic sign, and Surah 83, judgment, forms an arc that spans 47 surahs I, 144, 150, 167, 170. Ratios in mathematics, such as the ratio close to the golden ratio, around 0.807, observed in the interval between surahs 36, 57, and 83, 21 surahs from 36 to 57, 26 from 57 to 83, ratio 21-26, 0.807. I, 150, 17 sequential relationship patterns, 52 plus 72 equals sign 74, add to the aesthetic beauty that reflects the harmony of nature. Physical dimensions, chapter 4. I, this dimension focuses on how the physical text of the Quran confirms symmetry. Examples include symmetry in the number of dots in certain verses, such as the 19 dots in Surah Al-Fatihah, 1587, corresponding to the 7 verses of Al-Fatihah, compared to the 7 dots in Surah Al-Mudathir, 17-30, corresponding to the 19 dots in I, 145, 151, 160. This shows the inverse precision. The number of letters in key verses, such as the 19 letters in the first verse of Surah Al-Alaq, 96:1, 126 letters in 15:87, and 295 letters in 57:1, also shows a precise relationship to number and theme I, 145, 151, 168, 172. The distribution and total number of muqatta'at letters, 128, are also considered part of this physical symmetry. 145, 151, 168, 172. This shows the microharmonic ijaz within the text itself, which was difficult to create without divine design during the 23 years of revelation. Why use the concept of dimension? This theory uses the concept of dimensions to explain that the Quran has a multi-layered structure, 146, 169, 171. Each dimension reveals a different aspect of these. Numbers provide a quantitative basis. Themes provide spiritual meaning, shapes, geometry, provide visual order, and physical text provides confirmation in the reality of the language. The combination of these dimensions creates a multi-layered harmony that gives it natural beauty. The precise relationship between these dimensions, for example, 57 as the numerical, thematic, geometric midpoint, indicate a design that was too meticulous for human arrangement during the 23 years of revelation. These four dimensions are described as integrated, meaning they are interconnected, dependent on and reinforcing each other in the complete Quranic system, 148, 151, 171, 172. Combined analysis across these layers reveals aspects of the Quranic miracle, ijaz, that may not be apparent from one perspective alone. Related context in other sources. The pasted text source explores similar concepts, particularly in the book Numerical Harmony of the Quran, exploring surahs 23, 76, and 114 in Dika and Asmaul-Husna. This book also uses numerical analysis, linking it to Asmaul-Husna and Dika practices, especially in the context of Malaysian culture. It states the numerical pattern analysis involves surahs 23, Al-Muminun, 76, Al-Insan, and 114, An-Nas. Relationships like 23 plus 76 equals 99, the number of Asmaul-Husna. Other patterns, such as 7 plus 69 plus 23 equals 99, 23 plus 7 plus 6 plus 23 equals 99, 23 plus 23 plus 7 plus 7 equals 60, with the total digit of 1 symbolizing the oneness of Allah, Al-Wahid. The total number of verses of surahs 23, 76 and 114 is 155, 118 plus 31 plus 6, with a total of 2 digits. The number of words in these surahs was also analyzed, with the number of digit 7 being associated with the 7 layers of heaven. In Malaysia, this numerical pattern is often used by ustaz in pondok and madrasa to make teaching the Quran more interesting, connecting verses with Asmaul-Husna and Dika practices. This book also introduces 5 thematic categories: creation, guidance, protection, faith, love, which integrate these surahs with Asmaul-Husna and numerical patterns. Book structure. The book Quran Framework Theory is fully organized and includes an introduction, chapters 0 to 6, epilogue, author's reflections, and appendix. Chapter 0 serves as an introduction, while chapter 6 is the conclusion. The appendix provides practical guidance and references, and the author's reflections add a personal dimension. Disclaimer and limitations. 152. The author includes a disclaimer that this theory is an academic and personal endeavor focused on structure and symmetry and is not intended to change the meaning of the sacred text or claim absolute truth. 152. The calculations are based on the standard Uthmani text, without vowel lines unless otherwise stated, and may vary based on various styles of recitation. Qira'at 152. Tools such as Grok are used for technical analysis. 152. The book Numerical Harmony also states that numerical analysis is a tool for appreciating divine precision, not claiming absolute knowledge, and readers are encouraged to consult scholars or ustaz for guidance. It is not intended to replace classical interpretation. The suggested practice of Dika is an additional practice, not a substitute for obligatory worship. In short, the framework of symmetry, in the context of this resource, is an in-depth exploration of the layered arrangement in the Quran through its numbers, themes, forms, and physical text, with the aim of revealing the divine miracle within it, in line with the spirit of research and appreciation of the Quran in the Islamic tradition, including in Malaysia. Peace be upon you and Allah's mercy and blessings. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you with the mercy and blessings of Allah. Based on the sources provided, I will expand and detail all parts of the book. Teori Kerangka Quran in Malay with full clarity, covering each chapter from beginning to end, including complementary elements, by referring to the information found in the sources and our conversations. This book is compiled in the spirit of Dare to Differ, while firmly anchored in the Quran and Sunnah. The complete structure of the Quran Framework Theory book is as follows. Disclaimer foreword. Chapter 0, On the Brink of Divine Miracle. Chapter 1, Number as the Basis of Symmetry, Numerical Dimension. Chapter 2, Theme as the Soul of Symmetry, Thematic Dimension. Chapter 3, Form as the Beauty of Symmetry, Geometric Dimensions. Chapter 4, Verse and Surah Structure, the Beauty of Divine Symmetry, Physical Dimensions. Chapter 5, Psychological Effects, Touch of Guidance based on a list of elements and other contexts. Chapter 6, Conclusion, Reassembling the Sacred Framework. Epilogue, Bringing the Skeleton to Life, Author's Reflection Appendix, Practical Guide and Reference. Here is the expansion of each section. Disclaimer. This disclaimer is important to establish the intent and limitations of the book. It is placed before Chapter 0. Purpose. To clarify that this theory is an academic and personal endeavor, not a claim to absolute truth or an attempt to change the meaning of sacred texts. God's knowledge is limitless, and human efforts are but a drop. Principle. Recognizing that absolute truth belongs only to God. Methodology. State that calculations are based on standard Uthmani texts and may vary according to Qira'at, recitation style previously. Tools such as Grok are used for technical analysis previously. Author's intention, as a reflection of a weak servant. Context of the Numerical Harmony book. Adding that numerical analysis is a tool for appreciating divine accuracy, Al-Musi. Not claiming absolute knowledge. The meaning of the Quran is vast and profound beyond human understanding. References to scholars Hajj Ustaz are encouraged. This book is not a substitute for classical interpretation or scholarly authority. The suggested Dikar Asmal Husna is an additional practice, not a substitute for obligatory worship. Forward. This chapter serves as the opening of the book. Opening starting with Basmala, praising Allah SWT who sent down the Quran as guidance. Purpose of the book. Expressing the intention to contemplate the Quran with heart and mind. Sharing reflections on the beauty of the Quran's framework from a fresh perspective. Dare to differ. Holding. Emphasizing this approach is firmly based on the Quran and Sunnah. Referring to the Hadith of the Prophet SAW, I leave with you two things, the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of His Messenger. Muwatta Malik, 46/3. Prayer contains prayers asking for the benefits of knowledge and additional knowledge. Chapter 0, On the Brink of Divine Miracle. A preface full of arguments, narratives, and spiritual reflections. Chapter Purpose. To awaken the reader's spirit, establish holy intentions, and provide a comprehensive overview of the book's contents, as an entry point to the journey in theory of the framework of the Quran. Importance of the Quran. Emphasizing the greatness of the Quran, a source of guidance and wisdom, referring to Surah Al-Kahf, 18:109, about the ocean not being enough to write the words of Allah, showing the greatness of His word. Tadabbur concept, introducing the concept of tadabbur, contemplating, the meaning of the verses of the Quran. The evidence from Surah Sad, 38:29, emphasizes the purpose of the Quran to be contemplated. Tadabbur makes the Quran a source of guidance, not just a mere recitation. Signs of Allah. Refer to Surah Fussilat 41:53 about the signs of Allah on the horizon and within oneself, linking the study of the framework of the Quran with looking at these signs. Why this book was written, why? Answers the question of why it is necessary to understand the framework of the Quran because of its majesty and the need to approach it in a profound way. Book approach, how? Written in a friendly narrative style, combining arguments, stories, reflections. Focus on the framework, the arrangement of the surah, themes, sentence structure, psychological effects, with concrete examples. It is the result of prayer, effort, and trust. Prayer. Includes a prayer for forgiveness and guidance, QS Al-Baqarah 2, 286, as well as a prayer to make the Quran the springtime of the heart, Musnad Ahmad. Chapter 1. Number as the basis of symmetry, numerical dimension. This is the first dimension and is considered the backbone of the previous symmetry framework. This chapter has been expanded with the subsection Sources of Numbers in the Quran. Chapter Purpose: to explore the quantitative aspects of the Quran, to highlight the numerical ijaz through its uniqueness, beauty and precision. Previously 79, 80, 84, 87, 96, 97, 101, 104. Key numbers: focus on key prime numbers like 7, 19 and 37, as well as important numbers like 57 previously. 77, 78, 80, 84, 87, 92, 95, 97, 101, 104. Source of numbers refers to specific verses such as Sab'an min al-Matani, Al-Hijr 1587, for 7 previously. Thereon are 19, Al-Mudathir 74, 30 previously. Numerical calculations and proofs: midpoint 114 surahs, 2 equals sign 57, with the verse count before and after Surah 57 showing symmetry. Fractal 715873 x 7 times 7 equals 777,777 reflects the scale of the 7 heavens 67.3 in a complex fractal form. Muqatta'at: the number of unique letters of Muqatta'at, 2 plus 3 plus 7 plus 36 plus 38 plus 42, equal sign 128, which is seen as 2x64,7x9, 1 indicating a hidden layer of symmetry. 19 letters in the first verse of Surah Al-Alaq 96.1. 37, seen in the relationship of 36 plus 38 equals 74, twice 37, and the 37 verses of Surah Ali Imran 3. Structural resonance: numbers bind revelation and manuscript. Example: the sum of the numbers of the early revelation surahs 96 plus 88 plus 73 equal sign 237. The relationship between Surah 36, cosmic sign, and Surah 83, judgment, is through 36 plus 38 equals 74. Surah 57, divine order, as the numerical midpoint binds the concept of the 7 heavens. Numerical ijaz: this precision is impossible without divine knowledge. The fractal complexity and hidden symmetries highlight the complex design. Chapter 2: Theme as the soul of symmetry, thematic dimension. This dimension is considered as the soul of the symmetrical framework, giving it spiritual meaning. Previous 81-98. Chapter objectives: to give narrative and spiritual meaning to the quantitative structure, seeing how the themes are harmoniously arranged previously. Main theme: exploration of the narrative arc from creation 96.1 to guidance 1.6, cosmic order 57.1, warning 74.1, and resurrection 75.1 previously, 86, 89, 103, 105, grace 55.1 as a connecting thread previously. Thematic symmetry noticeable in pairs of surahs, especially Surah Yasin 36, 83 verses, and Surah Al-Mudathir 83, 36 verses previously, 86, 89, 103, 105. This creates a reverse symmetry across 47 surahs previously, 86, 103. Resonance with numbers: the thematic connection between Surah 57, cosmic order, and its numerical position as the midpoint, 57 previously, 86, 103. The numerical sum of the early revelation surahs, 237, ties in with the themes of creation, 96, signs, 88, and warnings, 73, previously, 89, 105. Thematic ijaz: narrative coherence aligned with numerical structure, difficult to create in stages over 23 years without prior divine design. Chapter 3: Form as the beauty of symmetry, geometric dimensions. This dimension is considered the aesthetic face of a symmetrical framework, previously 82-99. Chapter Purpose: to embody numbers and themes into beautiful geometric patterns reflecting divine harmony, in line with the concept of 7-tiered heavens, Al-Mulk 67-3. Geometry patterns: circle. 114 surahs form a circle with Surah Al-Hadid 57 as the center, symbolizing cosmic order, 57-1 previously, 83, 89, 100. Arch. The thematic and geometric relationship between Surah 36 and Surah 83 forms an arch that spans 47 surahs previously, 83, 89, 100. Mathematical ratio, the golden ratio, around 0.807, is observed in the interval between surahs 36, 57 and 83, 21 surahs from 36 to 57, 26 surahs from 57 to 83, ratio 21, 26, 0.807, previously 89, 105. The pattern resembles the Fibonacci sequence and the Pythagorean relation, 52 past 72 to 74 previously. Geometric ijaz, the uniqueness of patterns, the beauty of ratios, and the precision of relationships demonstrate divine design, inviting contemplation of the beauty of the Quran's symmetry as signs for those who see. Al-Hijr 1575. Chapter 4. Verse and surah structure. The beauty of divine symmetry, physical dimensions. This dimension focuses on how the physical text of the Quran confirms its symmetry. In the structure of the book, this is the third element explored in depth. Purpose of the chapter. Revealing the micro-harmony within the text itself previously, highlighting ijaz through uniqueness, beauty and precision on the physical level. Microstructure, subchapter 4.1, focuses on symmetry at the micro level, such as the number of dots in certain verses. Example, 19 dots in Surah Al-Hijr 1587 correspond to 7 verses of Al-Fatihah versus 7 dots in Surah Al-Mudathir 7430 correspond to 19 guardians showing reverse symmetry previously 84-101. The distribution of muqatta'at is also discussed. Textual resonance, subchapter 4.2, highlighting the harmonious beauty of the text through the number of letters in key verses. Examples: 126 letters in 1587, 295 letters in 57, 1 and 139 letters in Al-Fatihah show precise relationships with numbers and themes previously, 84-101. The resonant relationships of letters such as 126 equals 1 times 7, x2, x9 and 92, 6 are enriched. Relation of text to other dimensions, subchapter 4.3, shows the accuracy of the relationship between physical text and numbers, themes and forms. Examples: 19 letters in the first verse of Surah Al-Alaq, 96:1, the relationship of the number of letters of Al-Fatihah, 139, to 737:19. The relationship between Surah 57, numerical, thematic, geometric midpoint, and the number of its letters, 295 letters, 742. Physical ijaz, micro-harmonies that are difficult to create without divine design, especially within the 23 years of revelation previously, 84, 85, 101, 102, supported by verses such as An-Nisa 4:82, about not finding contradictions in the Quran. Chapter 5. Psychological effects, a touch of guidance. The source mentions 5 main elements explored within the framework of the Quran: the arrangement of the surahs, the theme, the symmetrical structure of the verses, the relationship between the surahs, and the psychological effects that touch the soul. Therefore, psychological effects is the 5th element and is expected to be chapter 5. Chapter purpose: to explore how the structure and arrangement of the Quran affects the heart and soul of the reader previously, 1347-65. The impact of surah. Arrangement: seeing the effect of the transition from the long Madaniya surah, law, to the short Makkiyah surah, monotheism, the basis of faith, prayers of protection. This brings about a psychological impact from broad understanding to deep focus, from complex rulings to simple prayers that touch the heart. This is evidence of Allah's wisdom in arranging the Quran for all levels. The impact of the overall framework explains how understanding the Quran's layered framework, numbers, themes, forms, text, can deepen faith, bring peace, and encourage obedience. This innovative structure engages the reader and makes monotheism something that can be felt, not just understood, making an emotional and intellectual impact. Chapter 6. Conclusion. Reassembling the sacred framework. This chapter serves as a conclusion and summary of the book. Journey summary summarizes the exploration of the 5 main elements of the Quranic framework: the order of the surahs, the main themes, the structure of the verses and surahs, the relationships between the surahs, and the psychological impact. Dimensional integration, bringing together findings from all dimensions, numeric, thematic, geometric, physical, and highlighting how they are interconnected and reinforcing. Relate key findings such as 7, 19, 37, and 57 across dimensions. Reflection and wisdom, reflecting on the wisdom behind this divine arrangement and structure. Reminding the reader to read the Quran and its ijaz. Setting the intention to bring the Quran to life. Invitation. Closes with an invitation to continue to reflect on and appreciate the Quran in line with the original purpose of the book. Epilogue. Bringing the skeleton to life. Practical additional sections after the main chapter's purpose. To link the theory in the book with daily practice. To provide guidance on how to apply the understanding of the framework of the Quran in life. Practical guide. Explains how to use an understanding of the structure and symmetry of the Quran to deepen worship, contemplation, and relationship with Allah. Reflections. Revised and added brief reflections to each section to enrich the reader's experience. Closing prayer. Epilogue. Contains a prayer that the Quran will be a friend in this world and an intercessor in the hereafter. Author's reflection. The personal section is placed after the epilogue and before the appendix. Purpose. To give a personal dimension to the book. Content. Sharing the author's personal reflections, writing process, challenges, and hopes for this book and the reader. Author's reflections in structure. It adds sincerity and benefit to this work. Appendix. Practical guide and reference, supplementary section at the end of the book. Purpose. To complement the book with practical guides and reference sources, to ensure that the theory of the framework of the Quran is not just theory, but a living practice. Head. Quick guide, how to practice the Quranic framework theory in daily life. Reference list supports the credibility of the book. Contains primary sources such as the text of the Quran, Utmani, Tafsir, for example, Tafsir Jalalain, Tafsir Ibn Kathir, Hadith collections, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and the works of scholars. These sources are the basis of studies in madrasas and pondoks in Malaysia. Glossary of terms provides brief definitions of key terms, numerical, spiritual, cultural concepts used in the book. Examples: Asmaul Husna, Zikir, numerical patterns. This glossary helps readers in Malaysia, especially madrasa Pengajian students, understand the terms clearly. Malaysian context. The appendix and the book as a whole are very relevant to the context of Islamic culture and education in Malaysia, where the concepts of Asmaul Husna, Dhikr, and numerical analysis, such as 23 plus 76 equals 99, are used in pondok and madrasa to make the teaching of the Quran more interesting and effective. 5 thematic categories: creation, guidance, protection, faith, love, are also taught for in-depth understanding. All of these parts are brought together to form theory of the framework of the Quran as a complete, consistent work, and aims to invite readers to delve into the Quran with their hearts and minds, see the wonders of divine design within it, and bring it to life in daily practice. Hopefully, this development provides a full explanation of each chapter and section in the book, Quran Framework Theory. Peace be upon you and Allah's mercy and blessings. Revealed over 1400 years ago, the Quran is a source of guidance and wisdom for billions of people. Its beauty lies not just in its eloquent language, but also in its complex structure. This structure, woven with mathematical precision, points to a divine design, a tapestry crafted by the Creator himself. Each verse, each chapter is placed with purpose, revealing a stunning symmetry and inviting contemplation. From the arrangement of chapters to the repetition of specific words, the Quran exhibits an astounding level of order. This order, often expressed through numerical patterns, has fascinated scholars and believers for centuries. These patterns are not random occurrences, but deliberate signs, inviting us to delve deeper into the wisdom of the Quran. The Quran is not just a book, it's a divine code, and like any code, it has its own unique language. Understanding this language, especially its mathematical dimension, unlocks deeper layers of meaning, revealing the miraculous nature of the Quran. This exploration into the mathematical marvels of the Quran is not about reducing faith to equations. It's about appreciating the beauty of this divine design and strengthening our connection with the Creator. The number 7 holds a special place in Islamic tradition, often associated with perfection. It's no coincidence that this significant number appears repeatedly in the Quran, woven into its very fabric. From the 7 heavens to the 7 verses of Surah Al-Fatihah, the Quran emphasizes the importance of this number, inviting us to ponder its significance. The Quran speaks of 7 heavens, layered one above the other, each with its own unique characteristics. This concept of 7 heavens, also found in other Abrahamic faiths, points to an awe-inspiring cosmic order, a universe structured with divine precision. Beyond the physical realm, the number 7 also appears in the context of spiritual purification. For instance, the Quran mentions that the earth will be shaken by 7 earthquakes before the Day of Judgment. These 7 earthquakes can be interpreted as stages of spiritual awakening, shaking us from our slumber and drawing us closer to our Creator. The recurrence of the number 7 throughout the Quran is a constant reminder of God's all-encompassing power and the perfection inherent in His creation. Another number that appears prominently in the Quran is 19. This number is not just an ordinary numeral. It carries profound meaning and significance within the context of this holy book. This number, often referred to as the miracle of 19, is central to a complex numerical system that permeates the entire Quran. This miracle has captivated the attention of many scholars and researchers who strive to understand the secrets behind this numeral. This system, based on multiples and divisors of 19, reveals a level of mathematical precision that defies human explanation, confirming the divine origin of the Quran. Every letter, verse, and chapter in the Quran seems meticulously arranged to adhere to this numerical code. One of the most compelling examples of this numerical marvel is the first verse of the Quran, known as Bismillah. This verse not only opens every chapter except one, but also holds a profound numerical secret. This verse, consisting of 19 Arabic letters, sets the tone for the entire Quran, hinting at the intricate numerical system that unfolds throughout its chapters. Each letter in Bismillah seems carefully chosen to comply with this code. The number 19 appears in various contexts within the Quran, from the number of angels guarding hellfire to the number of verses in certain chapters. This suggests that this numeral is not a mere coincidence, but part of a larger divine design. These occurrences are not random, but part of a larger pattern, a divine code waiting to be deciphered. Scholars and researchers continue to strive to understand and unravel this code, which provides deeper insights into the wonders of the Quran. The Quran itself challenges those who doubt its authenticity to produce even one chapter similar to its style and structure, a challenge that has remained unanswered for centuries. This points to the Quran's unique and unmatched nature. The miracle of 19 is not just a mathematical curiosity, it's a testament to the divine authorship of the Quran, a code embedded within its verses, reaffirming its status as a revelation from God. Each new discovery about this code only strengthens the belief that the Quran is an enduring miracle. Part 4. Al-Fatihah and Al-Mudathir. Case studies in numerical harmony. In this section, we'll dive deeper to understand the beauty and wonder of the mathematical marvels hidden within these sacred verses. Let's delve into specific examples to grasp how this numerical symmetry manifests in the Quran. Each chapter and verse has a unique structure, reflecting divine wisdom. Surah Al-Fatihah, the opening chapter of the Quran, is a perfect example of this divine arrangement. This chapter is not only significant spiritually, but also mathematically. Comprising 7 verses, this chapter, often referred to as the essence of the book, encapsulates the essence of Islamic belief. Each verse carries profound and comprehensive meaning. The fact that it consists of 7 verses, a number associated with perfection, signifies that this chapter contains a complete message, a summary of the guidance found within the Quran's pages. The number 7 frequently appears in religious contexts, signifying completeness and divinity. Similarly, Surah Al-Mudathir, the 74th chapter of the Quran, exhibits fascinating numerical patterns. This chapter takes us to another dimension of mathematical wonder in the Quran. This chapter, which marks a turning point in the mission of Prophet Muhammad, has a unique structure that highlights the significance of the number 19. This number holds profound meaning in both historical and spiritual contexts. This chapter comprises 56 verses, a multiple of 7, 7 times 8 equals 56. This shows how the number 7 continues to play a crucial role in the structure of the Quran. Furthermore, when we analyze the chapter's structure, we find that it's divided into 2 distinct sections, each containing 28 verses. 2 times 14 equals 28, and 14 is a multiple of 7. This adds another layer of mathematical wonder to this chapter. This intricate interplay of numbers is not a coincidence, it's a deliberate design, showcasing the mathematical precision woven into the fabric of the Quran. Every number, every verse, and every chapter is part of a divine symphony that reveals the grandeur and wisdom of God. Part 5. Beyond Numbers. Spiritual Insights and Reflections. In this chapter, we'll delve deeper into the spiritual significance behind the numerical patterns in the Quran. These numerical patterns, while fascinating in their own right, are not merely mathematical curiosities. They lead us to a deeper understanding of the divine order embedded within this holy book. They point to a deeper truth, inviting us to contemplate the spiritual significance of this divine arrangement. Each number and pattern holds a deeper meaning, connecting us to a higher wisdom. The Quran's symmetry reminds us that God is a God of order, not chaos. In every verse and chapter, we witness a perfect balance, reflecting the majesty and precision of His creation. Just as He has created the universe with perfect balance and harmony, so too has He revealed His word with meticulous care. Every star in the sky and every verse in the Quran is a testament to His wisdom and power. This realization should fill us with awe and wonder, deepening our appreciation for the beauty and wisdom of the Quran. Every time we read and reflect, we're reminded of the miracle contained within each word. The repetition of certain numbers, like 7 and 19, serves as a constant reminder of God's presence and His all-encompassing knowledge. These numbers are not just digits, they are symbols of divine presence in our lives. These numbers act as signposts, guiding us through the Quran's message and leading us closer to the divine truth it holds. They are guideposts that help us navigate life with wisdom and clarity. The Quran's mathematical patterns are not meant to be dry equations, they are an invitation to contemplate the divine mysteries that surround us. Each pattern and number is a gateway to a deeper understanding of the universe and its creator. It's a testament to God's power and wisdom, reminding us that His creation, both physical and revealed, is a reflection of His infinite knowledge and boundless creativity. By contemplating these patterns, we can appreciate the beauty and wonder embedded in every aspect of life.